Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Apple Box Chronicles. My name is Peyton Buteau.
And I'm Adryon Thomas.
And today on the ABCs, we're taking you from A to Z on Superman, the new 2025 Superman film directed by James Gunn. It's kind of a last-minute decision. We wanted to talk about this movie because it ended up being a lot more topical, divisive, and also inspired a lot of great thoughts and discussion between the two of us, so we thought we would get on here and talk about an episode before 2 weeks from now when Fantastic Four takes over the conversation and then nobody wants to talk about this movie anymore.
Yeah. Which I have a theory. That movie's probably not going to be great.
I don't think it looks very good either. Excuse me, I'm just going to pull up the synopsis here so I can read it for you guys before we get into talking about the film. You probably know what this movie's about. You've probably already seen this movie, but I'm going to read it anyway just for the sake of structure. Superman, a journalist in Metropolis, embarks on a journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent. That is it. That is what Letterboxd says about the movie. There is a lot more to this movie than that implies. I guess it implies a lot, but there's just a lot more specifically going on in this movie. We are going to review this movie in a sense, give like a spoiler-free section where we just talk about several aspects of the movie and highlight strengths and weaknesses and things that we liked and didn't like about the film, and then we're going to get into the spoilers, the nitty-gritty about some of the characters and the plot and all that, and then we're going to talk about something else that's kind of a surprise that you guys need to stay tuned and listen to find out. So, this film gets us right into the action. This is a decision.
Yeah, what I like about this movie is that it plays like a comic book. Like, it just gets you in there. It's like a lot of comic books just like start off. It just starts.
Yeah.
You just get right into it. Because we all know what his origins is. Like, if you don't know the Superman origins by now, then you're either like a child or like you've been living under a rock.
And the film, it doesn't expect you to know all the details. It does give you a little bit of like there's some text at the beginning that kind of explains in a very fun way who Superman is and what's been happening in the world so far. I've seen some people that don't like this decision to jump you right into the action. Basically, the film just starts and it's like it uses this nice format of threes, where it's like 3 centuries ago, the metahumans were introduced. 3 decades ago, Superman landed on Earth. 3 years ago, he introduced himself to the world as Superman. 3 months ago, I don't think there is a 3 months. I think it's like 3 days.
Weeks?
3 weeks ago, he stopped a invasion or whatever, which is in something mentioned in the trailer, which we'll get into in the second half of the podcast. But and then 3 minutes ago, like Superman lost a battle for the first time, and then he crashes into the ice, just like every trailer has started in this movie.
I love the way it just like it goes. It kind of has like that Star Wars scroll. It's like it tells you everything you need to know, and then it just gets you right into it.
Yeah, there was a mutual of mine on TikTok that made a video talking about it too. Nick, the screenwriter, he was like, yeah, nobody would ever want to read text at the beginning of a movie, and he just has the opening crawl in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys talking about?
But yeah, I like how it actually feels like you're getting right into a new comic, and it's like you don't need to know all the origin stuff because you already know that, and every character that they introduce, you're kind of familiar with them, and they kind of introduce themselves, but not like fully. But it's not completely like you're just in the dark. Like, they tell you who these people are, and you kind of get the sense of what they're about, if they're a good guy, if they're a bad guy. It's like it's pretty forward in who these characters are and what's happening. So if you're getting confused halfway through, it's like you're just not paying attention.
Yeah, it's a very straightforward movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you mentioned characters. There's quite a few great characters in this movie. And I was worried there would be like way too many for it to work. And I honestly think for the most part, it's pretty balanced and they all serve some kind of purpose.
Yeah.
So obviously you have Superman played by David Cornsweet, who I think is literally flawless as Superman. I think
great,
he is the perfect actor to play him, especially for the tone they're going for.
Yeah.
In this version of the film. Though Lois Lane is played by Rachel Brosnahan, I think she's also just as good.
Yeah, their I guess their dynamic it just feels very natural.
Their romance is one of my favorite parts of the movie because it feels very adult. It feels very like, okay, one of us is a little more excited about things than the other, and Lois Lane. There's this great moment where he's in her apartment and she doesn't know it yet, and she gets home and she like gets a bat and she's like, oh shit, like someone's in my apartment, and it shows immediately like she's way less trusting than he is, and she's a lot more like kind of, I guess, wary of other people, and she kind of criticizes him for how much he trusts other people so easily and how he sees everyone as like a beautiful thing. But you can also tell that she very much admires that about him as well. Yeah. So there's it's a very like, they don't agree on everything, and they're not just like in love because they're supposed to be and we're just supposed to buy it. Like, you really can see how they long for traits that each other have and how they complete each other and how they really appreciate one another, and like they see good in each other that they don't quite see in themselves at that time.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful relationship. And then we have Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, he's really fun in it. He kind of hams it up a little bit, and it's really good.
Dude, he's my fucking goat. I love this guy.
You love haters, and he's the biggest hater.
Yeah, I love how he even says in the movie that he's like an envious person, but I just love how the sheer magnitude of how far he goes as a hater. I mean, I live for that stuff in movies. It's a perfect villain.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think it's also like very relevant as well as the idea of these really high, rich, powerful people that just like, they just hate anybody who can just like kind of get in their way, and like, and if they're not at the very top, they're just like,
they can't handle feeling like they are in terms of brute strength physically or anyway like weaker than anyone else. And I mean, obviously Superman is also stronger in terms of just his humanity and his core values, and I think because he's also so physically powerful, like Lex Luthor's like, no, you can't. No.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be this strong and good at the same time, because then it just kind of illuminates how much I suck, right? Like, yeah.
And then we have the Justice Gang.
Yeah, we've got 3 characters in the quote-unquote Justice Gang. We got Mr. Terrific, played by, oh man, I'm gonna butcher his name. It's like Eddie Gathegi.
I mean, we could look it up.
Yeah, you should look it up. I think it's pronounced Eddie. It's spelled E-D-I, though.
Yeah, he was, I remember him being in...
Twilight?
No, I was...
That's where I remember him from. I was super excited about
I remember him most from being in X-Men First Class.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He plays Darwin.
Yeah.
But no, he's in Twilight as Laurent.
Yeah.
One of the villain vampires.
Yeah.
God, I love Twilight. I love that first movie.
Yeah, it's Eddie Gathegi.
Yeah, I said it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that is how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. But yeah, Mr. Terrific, highlight character for a lot of people. There's also Green Lantern, played by Nathan Fillion, and wouldn't you believe it, there's a Hawk too. Hawk Girl, played by Isabella Merced, who I really like, and she's in a lot of stuff.
I love her in everything she's ever been in ever.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah. But yeah, all kind of pretty funny characters. Yeah. Mr. Terrific gets the most screen time, and he's like the most helpful in the movie.
Yeah.
And he just has just really cool powers. Like, he floats on this chair, and he's just a hacker man character.
Yeah, he's just very tech.
Yeah, he has T-spheres, and he just kind of is able to use them to do whatever. They're a little bit like a Joker card, where he can just kind of use them to track things, hack things, fight people, all sorts of things. And it's just fun to see.
He's terrific about that stuff.
Yeah. He's a very versatile character. Green Lantern he just has the Green Lantern powers that everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
And then Hawk Girl has some crazy action sequences, because you get this wide lens on her face and she's shrieking, and it's kind of scary. And she just like attacks people, and she has a giant mace. She just hits things. It's awesome.
Well, that's the Justice Gang. We also get a few other... Let's go with the not superpowered characters like Jimmy Olsen.
Great.
So
Great
funny.
character.
Skylar.
Bien.
What's his name?
Oh, Skylar something. I'm so sorry, I forget.
Yeah.
He's in Licorice Pizza.
No, yeah, he's so funny in everything he's ever been. I think that actor is just always like one of the funnier, better parts of the things.
Skylar Gisondo.
Yeah. Perfect Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah,
he's just
lovely.
He's a ladies' man, but he doesn't even want to be.
Yeah. Ma and Pa Kent are in the movie. In my opinion, just I wish they were in the movie more. I understand why they're not in the movie that much, but they are just adorable and wonderful, and like they just hit those characters.
They just act like like when he's talking to them on the phone. It's like, yeah, that's how parents talk to you when you're older.
Yeah, they're super sweet, and they just have that warm, welcoming energy to them, like just in just a few scenes.
Yeah,
you know, I just get emotional at just like how much they love Clark. Like just when he's talking to them and he needs them and they're really there and supporting him. It's beautiful.
There's Eve, who's Lex Luthor's kind of like she's been Lex Luthor's
girlfriend.
Kind of girlfriend, but also like kind of like an assistant or like just helping him out, I think doing stuff.
He just keeps her around because again, it's like it makes him look better to have this attractive woman nearby,
and she's also kind of like an Instagram model, I guess, in this. She's like taking photos with Superman in the back and him getting beat up.
And then there's also a couple more characters that we get highlighted. Superman has this team of robots in the Fortress of Solitude, kind of a comic relief, and also they take care of him in the beginning when he's you know that clip's been released since April. They just kind of take him in and like
they're kind of like his Alfred.
Yeah, a little bit like Alfred. They're just numbered. Alan Tudyk voices the main one. He's really good. And then you have Crypto, the dog. He's a dog. He's not very.
He's not a good dog, but he's a fun little dog.
He kind of just does whatever he wants, but he helps out sometimes by accident.
Yeah.
He has behavioral issues.
Yeah, I just like how it's like the dog is never predictable. Like every time you think, oh, the dog's gonna help me out in this point, it's like, no, you're just making it worse right now.
Yeah.
But it's still really cute, and I like it. I like the fact that they actually have a Crypto in a live action Superman.
Yeah,
movie.
It's really fun choice. And then lastly, we have this character called the Engineer that has a little bit of an importance in the movie as well. She's got like nanotechnology infused in her bloodstream, so she can kind of think up things and just change her body to match her thoughts.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Green Lantern, but more physical than him just like.
Yeah, it's like almost could be a body horror movie if you focused on that character a lot.
Yeah, she was. I feel like she was pretty weak with her dialogue and things.
We'll get into it. I agree. She says a line in this movie that's like one of my
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm just like, but why?
Yeah,
did you say that when we already anyway?
And then one last character, there's Metamorpho, which we meet like kind of midway point.
Yeah,
and he plays a kind of a big-ish role.
He's a character that can transform into any element.
Yeah.
He's kind of got a cool power. I liked how they explored that. He has a baby.
He has
in the movie as a son that he really loves.
Yeah.
He's kind of introduced in the midpoint and then is major throughout one sequence of the movie and then kind of comes back later in the movie as well. So it's cool character. I know you said that you didn't really vibe with it.
I wasn't a huge fan of, I guess, the way maybe the actor. I don't know, just the way he looked, the way he sounded, he just felt like a tonal mess. Which could possibly be the point because he's like he's a metamorpho. Yeah, he's an amalgamation of all these elements and can bring. But I don't know. I just felt like you maybe miscast or I don't know. He just also kind of looked kind of funny.
Yeah,
he looked kind of ridiculous. But they're also trying to be a little accurate to how he looked in the comics as well. I don't know. Not my favorite part of the movie.
Well,
he does play an integral part.
If we're talking about a character that's tonally that you didn't vibe with, we could just talk about the tone of the movie real quick. The color palette, the dialogue, the action. Like, for me, this is really a nice movie to watch. It's just a pleasant film to watch because it's super colorful. It's got that comic book vibe. It's got that Saturday morning cartoon vibe to it. It's incredibly earnest and like sincere. And I think that, for better or worse, it's a comic book movie in 2025 with like an actual heart and personality. And it seems like it has goals and it wants to make choices to contribute to those goals. And this is a divisive movie at the moment. There is kind of a lot of people who don't really like it, and then a lot of people who really, really love it. And I think
a lot of people who really hate it.
And I think that is just indicative of the fact that it's a movie that made choices. A lot of the times when a movie is divisive, it's the most exciting thing a movie can be because, yeah, you might not like it, but at least the movie makes some kind of decision to where it's not just appealing to everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like it's an intentioned piece of work.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is that.
Well, yes, definitely in terms of like the plot, but in terms of the tone, it's just really harking back to OG Superman, Richard Donner, as well as the animated series, and just the original vibe of Superman just being a really good guy, just helping people out, not just people, but every living creature he has a soft spot for, and he will try to protect everybody at any cost, even if it means he gets hurt or like he has to sacrifice his own well-being for everybody else to be okay. And I think that's just the thesis of Superman, is that he's just the good person. Like there's that saying, it's like when someone is like, are you good? And it's like, I'm not good, I'm well. Superman's good.
Yeah.
Because nobody's good. Nobody's as good as Superman. Nobody's as morally high as
but
Superman.
Superman reminds people that they can be.
Exactly, and that's the point. It's like you're supposed to look up to Superman because even though he has all these powers, he limits himself to make sure that people are okay, that he could save people, that he's not using his powers like a lot of the superhero media that we get today, where it's like, oh, these guys could use their powers for bad, like in The Boys or Invincible.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, those are the more like, oh, this is how it would actually go.
Yeah, where Superman is like that is the OG like superhero. He's here with superpowers because he needs to do good, because he was brought up good, and he was brought up to work in, and this is where it gets political. He's for the American way, for life, liberty, and justice. And
but like actually, though.
Yeah, but like the actual point is for life, liberty, and justice. It's like that's what he's for, and the fact that people today can't even see that, they're just like, oh, he's too woke now. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, the reason
he was, if you're ever gonna use the word woke, he's always been woke. He's never gotten more woke.
Yeah,
he's always been woke. You're just a bad person. like you're literally just a bad person if you think that Superman is too woke today.
Yeah, like if it's basically just saying, oh, he's a good guy that cares about everybody.
Yeah,
and if you're gonna see that as woke. If you like have a problem with that,
yeah.
That's crazy. Like, why do you have a problem with
He's
that?
a superhero. He's a hero. He's there to save people. And you're saying he's an immigrant? What?
Well, he is, factually.
He is an immigrant. That is canonically the truth.
And that's like also the point.
That is the point. He came to he didn't come, he kind of
he was sent there.
He was sent. He's basically a refugee from like basically his planet exploding and dying off. He came to America where they brought him up, showed him the American way. And he said, "This is how they are here. They're caring, they're loving, they're people that care for each other, and that's how I should be." Because he was raised by great parents,
yeah,
and he used that and utilized his powers for good because that's how he was brought up. Because that's how he thought. That's how people are on this planet. Obviously, not everybody's great and good,
mm-hmm.
but the fact that he's such a Boy Scout in that way, it just shows that anybody could be good. Everybody should be good.
Well, Superman's greatest power is not laser beam eyes or strength or flight or anything like that. His greatest power is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's being good. It's the one thing Superman has that we can all actually achieve in real life. And that's what makes him such a great character.
Yeah.
It's like you can be like Superman. In fact, you are a lot like Superman because, he makes mistakes as well. Yeah. And he could wake up any day and choose to do the wrong thing, but he chooses to do the right thing. And that's what everyone should try to do.
Yeah. And
even if you don't quite know what you're supposed to do, you try your best.
Yeah, and he's just always been such a great metaphor for just like doing the right thing. Just do the right thing.
That's it.
That's it. And this movie obviously gets very political because there's a lot of eventful stuff happening today that's kind of mimicked in the movie. For instance, there's two countries that are kind of going at war with each other, and it's kind of a bit of a metaphor for how Israel and Palestine is right now. And it can't be more obvious in this movie about what it's trying to say. It's like,
well, really, it's one country trying to invade the other.
Yes, yeah, basically. And it's like, don't do that. Like, they're just
he basically, Superman is just like, well, that's not right.
Yeah,
don't do that. And that's what I love so much about this in particular is like the reason Superman can't wrap his head around what's going on with that situation and those kinds of injustices and Lex Luthor's whole thing is not because he's naive and childish. It's because it actually is that fucking simple.
Yeah.
It actually is like, it actually doesn't make sense why someone would do that to other people. And Superman is just there to illustrate, like, no, you guys are just do good. Just care about each other. If you just care about each other, we can make the world work and care through caring about each other.
Yeah.
But because there's all these people that want to be at the top, the most powerful. Of course, they hate fucking Superman and what he represents as well. The people in real life that he represents.
Yeah.
It's because they're like, oh, I don't want to feel weaker than anyone else. I don't want to feel equal to anyone else. I want to be better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And Superman, as powerful as he is, identifies with the rest of humanity and says, I'm just like all of you.
Yeah. And that's just one part of the situation in this movie. There's also like this Pocky universe in this movie that's basically a concentration camp, which is,
well, I should mention that this is kind of where we're getting into spoilers.
This is the spoiler part ish. I mean, but yeah, there's that, and it's like, if basically their equivalent is like, if you like Superman, you're just gonna get arrested. No judicial.
If you betray Lex Luthor at all, if you like Superman, they've got so many people in there, and one of the things is like that's where he meets Metamorpho, because Metamorpho is able to use kryptonite to keep Superman at bay, because he's the only one that can create kryptonite through his powers. What I find so interesting about that is that it's kind of illustrating how the people who are doing these things actually rely a lot on everyone below them cooperating and hating each other and turning against each other out of fear that they'll be punished.
That's how reality works too.
Yeah, that's how it all happens. Like, so, because Lex Luthor, he can't hold Superman himself. He needs Metamorpho to use kryptonite. As soon as Metamorpho decides to side with Superman breaks out no problem.
Yeah.
Also, when Metamorpho's creating a sun to power Superman back up, all of the other prisoners are like, hey, this guy's doing something. And then two of them start arguing, and I remember a line being like, no, you are not taking credit for this. I want credit for this. They would rather throw Superman under the bus just so that they won't be punished hard enough because they're really scared for their lives.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing is, I think, very, very topical, unfortunately, that like a lot of people, they don't want to be the one to
there's people we're in a world where a lot of people are too scared to even fight for what's right.
Right, and that's because a lot of the time that feels like a lonely battle.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of the good and the bad part about social media is that you could finally see that everybody is in agreement of how they believe that, you know, all this ice stuff, the alligator Alcatraz, this all this bad stuff happening in the world is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we all agree that we need to fight this, and that's good, but also you have all the people on the other side who are like, nah, we need this. We don't like immigrants. We're evil people. But we don't want to admit we're evil people, because if we admit we're evil people, then we look like evil people. But you already look like evil people.
Yeah, they're just kind of making up reasons for why. Like, for example, in this movie, Lex Luthor is trying to convince the government to fund his group of people that is trying to take out Superman.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, help me run this organization that I've created to take out this alien that I don't like. It's just because he personally doesn't like him, but he's trying to justify it.
Yeah.
And he literally is perpetuating the conflict between these two countries that we mentioned. Not because he cares about that, but literally so he has an excuse to take out Superman, because he just doesn't like Superman, and it's a personal, envious kind of like thing, because he's just a weak person.
Yeah.
That wants to feel bigger, and basically he's trying to convince the government to fund this thing, and they're like, oh, but Superman's popular, like the optics of it just don't make sense. And Lex Luthor's like, oh, well, less so every day, according to Chatter Online. And then later you find out Lex Luthor has an army of monkeys that are constantly posting anti-Superman stuff online. I believe that exists. Not monkeys, but I believe that room, there's bots.
Yeah, there's definitely, there's bots just like spouting out evil, bad crap out there, and it just makes everybody look worse.
Yeah.
and it's all controlled by these highly wealthy people that just they just want to be the heroes, but they can't seem to figure out that they are very much the supervillains of this reality.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so tunnel vision with the idea that they have to be the number one, they have to be the richest, they have to be the more powerful one, they have to look the best, and by doing so, you're just making yourself look way worse, and you just are worse. There's this thing about the way Superman's been reacted to, the movie, these days, and how people are getting mad about it, and I think there was an article which said that it's not because we don't have real superheroes, it's because in reality we have real supervillains, and we don't have a superhero to kind of combat that. We have to be the superheroes to combat that.
Yeah, it's like the supervillains often feel so real in these movies. They feel so real. Why can't the hero feel just as real?
Yeah.
We need to make the hero feel just as real and relevant as the villains in the movie.
And that's what Superman is about. It's saying you are the hero. You could be the hero.
Yeah.
And we don't have to live in this world full of supervillains.
Yeah, with very too few heroes. And I mean, I said this in my video review I made of this movie on my page, is like, I love that the tagline for this movie is "Look Up." Because it's not only look up at the potential of humanity, look up in the sky, there's Superman. You know, it's a very kind of a fun tagline that's very comic booky, but also, to me, it signifies like the evil people thrive on us looking at each other on the ground, left and right, looking like, oh, who's my enemy down here? We don't look up and be like, oh, it's those guys.
Yeah.
It's those guys that are the problem. What, like we fight amongst ourselves, and that's what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what that. When I was watching the movie and I realized how relevant it was, and then I remembered that tagline as I was watching the movie, and I was like, that's amazing how much meaning that has to what the movie is actually saying.
Yeah, that's what's so great and so polarizing about this movie, is that it's very pointed in what it's trying to say about our reality today.
Yeah, it's very necessary, and it proves why, like, I know a lot of people complain about, oh, it's just another comic book movie, or there's a lack of original storytelling in Hollywood, but there's these tried and true characters that we still are learning from, that, after decades and decades of Superman existing, we still haven't figured that out. We are always going to, I think, need Superman to a degree to continually remind us what we can actually achieve as human beings.
Yeah, I feel like Superman always comes in a time that that we need him the most.
It's a mythology that, like, we really need to heed that message all the time, and we fail at it a lot. Like, I'm just looking around, I'm like, we're not listening to Superman. What are we doing?
Yeah. There's also this thing with Jor-El and his parents and a message. Also
just plays into it a lot, I think. The whole duality of choice and what you can do as a human being. And, I feel like a lot of people, they don't literally, we are not born into this world with a message that tells us, well, first of all, there's a message from his parents on Krypton that he was sent with. He only can read the first half because the second half was damaged. The first half is, like, very positive. It's like, we love you. You are our hope. We sent you to this planet because we think you can do the most good here. That's it. And then the second half gets revealed as Lex Luthor and his goons hack into the Fortress of Solitude, and they recover it. And it says, like, rule over this planet. These people are weak. Like, take many wives and spread your Kryptonian seed and just rule over the planet. And he's like, what the hell? Like, I thought I was supposed to do good on this planet.
It's this whole thing about nature versus nurture. Naturally, he's very powerful. He's this alien that is basically a god. But the nurture aspect is that he was raised by these very loving parents who cared very much about him and taught him great values and ways about life. And that's what made him understand, like, the humanity of Earth and the planet, and why we should take care of each other and take care of all the creatures and everybody on this planet, versus what he would have been taught if he had his real biological parents, and what they would have, he would have become a villain if that were the case. Like, sometimes you aren't naturally, I guess, inclined to do things, but it's all based on, like, what you learn through life and experience, and the values that you hold upon yourself and what you want to put out in the world as well.
Yeah, what you said was your favorite scene in the movie, I think, is the scene with Pa Kent where they discuss this.
Yeah, no, I cried during that scene.
I cried during it too. When he says, one of my favorite lines is, well, I'd say what you wanted that message to mean says a whole lot more about you than what it actually says.
Yeah.
And also, like, just the fact that he says parents aren't there to tell you who you're supposed to be. They're there to give you the tools to make fools of yourselves all by yourself.
Yeah.
And I just think, not all of us were sent in a little Kryptonian vessel to come to Earth and with a message that we can, like, live by. But we all are born onto this planet without asking for it. We're all brought into Earth without asking for it. And we kind of get to choose what the message we want to follow is. Are you a first half of the message person, or are you a second half of the message person? Do you want to be as powerful as Superman to rule over others, or do you want to be what is really powerful about Superman and do good and care about people? Because that's something everybody can do at every level to make the world a better place.
Yeah. And
yet, some people just want to do the second half of the message,
Yeah. I mean, I love that scene because it's just like like, parents they just want their children to do good and well in their life. Well, at least good parents do. And they're just normal people. They're just normal Kansas
farmers,
folk, that just, like, live on. They're just very salt to the earth kind of people, and that's just, like, the base of like what Superman is. He's just a kind of like the salt of the earth guy that happens to have superpowers as well. And it's like, what are you gonna do with those superpowers? So like, obviously he's gonna do good because he's so grounded in reality and like what it's meant to be alive and human in this world.
Yeah.
And that's what, good parenting can do to a person. It's like it teaches you how to maintain a better life and a better relationship too. There's I saw this on Twitter where Mia Khalifa was breaking down the difference between Superman and Batman, and the reason why Batman in his 40s beating up all these people and still have like vengeance in his life. His parents died early. He didn't have that nurturing relationship to grow up and learn. He had to do that kind of on his own, and like it really traumatized him to the point where he had to become like this vigilante, as opposed to Superman, who had that great upbringing, and he uses his powers to basically just do good in the world, where Batman doesn't have any powers, but he feels like there is like just evil in the world, and he's just trying to combat that evil. It's kind of this different take in how these two characters view the world based on their upbringing.
Yeah, definitely. I see that.
And I thought it was very funny that people were on Twitter. They were just like, how did she just break that down so easily? And people just can't seem to figure that out. Mia
Khalifa is like a cinephile. Like,
she's great.
No,
yeah.
She loves trap, bro. Like, she said, film of the decade. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. But I think that what you said is, you said something about like, Batman's parents died early. That definitely had a great effect on how he views the world. But I also want to say that like this movie, what I appreciated is that it illustrates how, like you were saying, nature versus nurture, and how, yeah, Superman's biological parents didn't want that good for him, but his parents that he got did. I feel like a lot of people, unfortunately, our parental relationship very much, I don't say defines us. There's another word for it. I don't know. It has a great influence on how we are.
Yeah.
Right. And if that is like if that's bad, that can like really mess a person up.
Yeah, and sometimes for people that don't have great parents, sometimes it's better to have kind of other influences outside who are good, and who can teach you.
Well, we all have to learn from each other in the world. So the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is like, if you don't have great parents, I think Superman is also a phenomenally important character, because he in a way, and this is corny as fuck, but like, storytelling in movies can have a huge impact on someone's upbringing as well. Like something that's not your parents, that it can be kind of your Ma and Pa Kent, where they're like, yeah, you're not my biological parents, but you taught the lessons and the morals, and you can still shape yourself after, the things that are good in the world, even if your actual parents don't.
Yeah, that's
fit
what
the bill for that.
Superman is. He's an inspiration for people to do good and better.
Yeah.
And, that's, I guess for some people, that's just too woke. He's just too good. Like, he has to be a bit evil. But, no, that's... I don't understand how people are getting so lost with the idea of Superman. They're just they're so gone.
Yeah.
They don't even understand that Superman is supposed to be a good person. Like, how is that? How do you lose track of that?
Well, I think they just have a very different definition of what a good person is.
Probably. And that good person just is a billionaire or something.
Is like an evil person, basically.
Anyway, there are other stuff that we kind of want to talk about. There is we do get the Supergirl reveal.
That's true. Millie Alcock plays Supergirl. She's from House of the Dragon. I haven't really seen anything else she's in.
At least from what I've seen on social media, people are very excited to see her as Supergirl.
Yeah, it looks...
And it's cool. When she's introduced in this movie, it's really funny because she's drunk. And I guess Kryptonians don't get drunk unless you go to like a planet with like a red sun.
Yeah, so she goes
So
and
she's just
parties.
hanging out while he's getting beat, nearly dying a few points in the movie, and she's just coming back from a drunkard retreat, I guess. And I guess Crypto is her dog, not Superman's dog. That's why in the movie he's like, he's just what did he say? He's just
that's why he has behavioral issues, or he's just a foster situation.
Yeah. And which I was like, what do you mean? And then it made sense when Supergirl came back.
I also appreciated that they did that before the end credits.
Yeah. And
then the end credit scenes are just cute. They're nothing
also,
huge.
I saw this TikTok about the very, very end credit where it's like the buildings are not put together properly, and how that's a metaphor for James Gunn and the DC universe.
Oh, wow.
About how, like, James Gunn, I guess, is the Mr. Terrific, and then...
Oh, you want me to take it apart and put it all back together?
Yeah, it's like... He did his best just to stop the world from becoming a black hole, and like just getting it back together, like slowly, and like it's not going to be perfect, but it's still at least together and holding together. And yet still people are still like, but that I want
Zack
and
then
Snyder,
Superman's like,
and,
oh man, I could be such a jerk sometimes. And it's like,
it's like, it's just a metaphor that I think James Gunn is trying his best just to kind of like keep it all together. He's just trying to keep it together. It might not be perfect, and even this movie, I love this movie a lot. It's not perfect, but it's like it's trying to bring back what we love about these superheroes and what we want from these superheroes.
And I think it succeeds. You were talking about the whole Supergirl thing as well. I think that there's a way that Superman, and especially in that end credit scene as well, when he's like, I could be such a jerk sometimes. It's like there's a way that Superman interacts with characters in this movie that I really appreciate. Where
I love that he's such a boy. He's so goofy. He says golly, like
the hey, dude.
He's so. I love that he doesn't cuss or
he only cusses when he quotes someone saying super shit.
Yeah,
which is like not really him. He's just kind of like saying what it says.
Yeah, he's such a goofy little guy, but he has such a kind, loving heart for everything.
Yeah, but what I mean is like he has this kind of trusting energy to everybody, where he's just like, yeah, Crypto's like kind of not really a great dog, but he's alone. I need to take care of him.
Yeah,
I need to go find him.
He saves a squirrel.
Yeah, he saves a squirrel, and that scene when he's talking about Crypto, that's my favorite scene in the movie, is when he's talking to Lois about, him, how he views the world, and she's like, I'm not very trusting like you are, but you just see everyone as like the most beautiful thing, and you're just so nice to everybody, and you trust everybody, and in a way, she's like, she admires that, like I said earlier, but she just can't quite understand how he's just okay with doing that, because a lot of people still kind of don't really care. They don't reciprocate in the same way.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's just about being an example. And he even says like, maybe me being like kind like that is like, that's the most punk rock thing. Yeah. And that is the whole like kind of thesis of the movie, with of course the end credits song as well.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately today, you are more against the grain and punk rock if you are a nice, kind, genuine person that is authentic, that is sincere, that doesn't worry about, I'm not going to be nice, that's cringe. Because that's kind of become this idea of Superman, this kind of person that we're talking about, is somehow has become like, that's cringe now.
Yeah.
Like, if you act the way Superman acts in this film, and you're nice to people, and you say things like golly and what the hey, and you're like very like cheerful and kind in that way, people will like be like, what's up with this guy? He's weird. Yeah, and that's just not a reality I want to fucking live in.
Everybody's just irony baited and like,
irony baited, irony pilled.
They just want everything to be so unserious, but also.
Well, they want everything to be insecure.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, do stuff and then immediately laugh at it, or give other people permission to laugh at them. And just there's this, I watched a video on this one time even on YouTube where talking about kind of how sincerity is lost in movies and irony has taken its place, and that's the more valuable currency. And it's super true. Like, even at the end of the video, when he says he makes like this very nice like speech about cinema, and then cuts to black, and you wait a few seconds, and he totally got my ass with this. He goes, "I bet you're waiting for me to make a joke. I'm not going to." And it totally it really opened my eyes, because like when someone gives a sincere speech similar to what Superman does at the end of this movie about being human, and despite not knowing what I want to do every day, I put my one leg in front of the other and all that stuff, like that, after a moment like that of triumph, I feel like a lot of people's brains are trained to expect that to be immediately undercut with like a little joke.
Yeah.
You know? And that doesn't happen in this movie. And that's what I love so much about it, is that the humor is interwoven very very tastefully.
Yeah.
And that all of it's not like robbing itself of that sincerity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually really like all the humor in this movie. It's really fun. Like it feels kind of natural in the comic book world that it's in.
Yeah.
Super shit's really funny stuff.
Now, there is, besides the humor, I do agree that the humor is very, very funny. But there is like a few bits of dialogue that I didn't love.
Yeah, the engineer.
The engineer we mentioned earlier, she says a line, and I'm going to say it, and I'm assuming this is the one you're talking about. It's when they're in the fortress, and Lex is breaking into the computer, and he even gives like a hater monologue about Superman, like kind of unprovoked, but it's to establish his character. But I actually like that, because I like if he's hating, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
But then the engineer goes, "Yeah, I know, Lex. I gave up my humanity just to stop it," or something like that. And I'm like, okay,
like,
but the thing is, we already had that scene at the Pentagon earlier where he explains her powers and what he did to her. So you already know she gave up her humanity, but I guess it's supposed to just explain that she has an actual prejudice and hatred for Superman, that she's not just a goon, she has passion involved in it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I just felt like it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb, that line. And there's a few lines like that. Like earlier in the movie when they're, I think you brought this up to me earlier today, there's a line where he's like, one of Lex's guys in the computer room where he fights Superman is like, "Oh, it's like he knows every move before he makes it." And then the next guy's like, "He does. He's learned all these patterns over the past few years." And I'm like, we just saw that happen. Like, you don't need to explain that he knows that because you can already infer it.
That's kind of why I find it so weird when people, well, not weird, but just kind of stupid that people are like, this is not an origins movie. We don't get all this backstory. They already do so much exposition in it. You don't need it.
I think a lot of people are actually more annoyed at the fact that it jumps you into the action and then backtracks a little bit to kind of give you do that heavy lifting through the dialogue.
Yeah.
But there is one way that I justify it. And that is, I think if you picture these lines in comic book speech bubbles, they do fit a little better.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that that's the tone they're going for, because if you picked up the comic and you read it like we were saying about the beginning of the movie, you would kind of have stuff like that.
Yeah, this feels like the most comic book movie from the DC that I think I've seen.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
So it's not 100% gracefully done in terms of transitioning mediums of storytelling, but it is remaining true to what its goals are, I think.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. There's just a few things that I felt like movie-wise don't really fit as in terms of being a movie. I feel like there has to be a little bit more balance in that commitment.
There still needs to be like adaptation.
You can still feel like a comic book for sure. But, like, if it doesn't fit the movie watching experience, it doesn't necessarily need to be there all the time.
Yeah, and one of the biggest parts that I disliked about the movie was the whole pocket universe thing. Not the idea of the pocket universe. Like, that whole, like, stuff is cool and all. It's just the fact that it looks like it's in a CGI world. Like, it's, like, very... Like, when he's, like, in the it's like some kind of particle lake or something, like river that's getting sucked into the black hole. Like, all that stuff is super CGI. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
This would probably look really cool in a comic, but right now, it's like...
Yeah, it doesn't look quite as good.
But
I
will say...
especially jarring when you have the Baravian dictator in the pocket universe. It's like just this guy in a suit. You're like, okay.
But also, it does lead into one of the coolest, most OP things I've ever seen Superman do, and it's to blow himself out of a black hole, which is like, what?
Yeah, that shit is awesome.
That's
and then he comes out of the
insane.
thing, and it's like he's still weak. He's still got kryptonite poisoning. It's like he just did the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I also love the scene where the engineer's just like stuffing him full of nanobites, and he's just like,
he flies up.
They're just like pounding the crap out of it, and he keeps going. And I love movies in which, especially superhero movies, in which they should be so down low, like they are getting the absolute crap kicked out of them, and yet they still go, they still resist, and they still find a way to get out of that like seemingly impossible situation.
Definitely.
And that's why I love this Superman in particular, because he just pulls it out. He's like, I'm getting sucked into this black hole. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna blow myself out of this shit.
Yeah, it's like,
and
here
he pulls
we go
everybody
again.
out, and it's so I don't know why, but I thought that was so like funny, but also really cool. The same with the whole like him getting nano
suffocated,
lunged, and I don't know. Just those moments is like what makes Superman like a really cool superhero with superpowers.
Yeah, because it's like I'm just gonna power through this.
Yeah. Because when growing up, I never loved Superman. I was more of a Batman kind of guy, because me being the logical kind of like dude that I am, I'm just like, Superman, he's too OP. He's got too much power. But Batman, he has no powers. He just got a suit on, and he's
the best detective.
Yeah, and I still love Batman. He's still like probably my favorite DC character, but I've grown to respect Superman so much more over the years, especially with like the Richard Donner movies, and especially this movie too, where it just really showcases that his real superpower is genuinely just him being a good person. And
that's what we can all strive for.
Yeah, it's just a bonus that he's just the most OP god type human ever existing. Well, not human, but Kryptonian, I guess.
Yeah, there's so many. Well, he's very human.
Yeah,
in his own way as well. There's so much I love about this movie. I think we discussed pretty much everything about the specifics of the movie. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not specifically about the movie, but at the beginning of this, we were talking about how we had like a little thing we wanted to like mention, which is so before this episode, I just kind of wanted to do a little kind of going back and seeing some of the Zack Snyder Superman stuff. I saw Batman v Superman, and you know what? I still like that movie. The Ultimate Cut, I still think it's a fairly good movie. Like, I know a lot of people hate the Snyderverse and a lot of people love the Snyderverse. It's very polarizing. I'm kind of in the middle. I think it definitely has its weaknesses in it, but I do also think it is more just based on style and what people don't like about the style. And I had this theory that there are two types of directors. Any director. It doesn't have to be directors that just do Superman or superhero films or big studio. Any director. There's two types of directors. There's directors that are meant to direct Batman films and directors that are meant to direct Superman films. And Zack Snyder is a Batman director. And that's why when he did Man of Steel, a lot of people didn't like that version of Superman because it felt too much like a Batman movie. The style is too much in that.
I wish he had done like a solo Batman movie instead.
That's why I like the Batman v Superman, because it's like I love Batfleck. Like, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I think
I always liked him.
Yeah, I think he's so cool in that movie. He just doesn't give a shit anymore. He's just like, I'm gonna take this guy down, and I'm all these criminals and villains. I don't care if they die anymore. They're I'm just gonna take them all out.
Yeah, I think people they didn't like that he was killing people. I think they kind of just refused to see like how fucking far gone that Batman is supposed to be.
And I also think that movie has a political lining as well, that it's like Batman is almost like Republicans and Superman is like obviously the immigrants. It's like
I mean, it came out in 2016.
Yeah, no, I still think it's very politically relevant that, you know, Batman is kind of like the Lex Luthor in Superman 2025, where he doesn't hate him because of any because he sees that he's not powerful enough. He hates him because of the fact that Superman may be too powerful and there's no way to like stop him if he ever wanted to change or turn. It's but I think it's more about finding the fact that Superman is still a person and a human who has family, who has, obviously people don't like the Martha scene, but it's very much a part of that movie.
I like that scene a lot.
The ultimate cut really like showcases that was a big moment in Batman's life when his mom, Martha, who died as well, and it's like it showcases that Superman is just like the rest of us, and then he was only getting at him because of his own tunnel vision ideology of what Superman is, but Superman is just a good person who's trying to do good in the world.
I think it is extremely sorry.
No, you're good. And that's kind of like what these like conservatives need to see is that right now you guys hate all these like immigrants coming in and all these ideas of the wokeness and all that, but you guys are simply not seeing the fact that they're human too. These people are people that have family, that are just trying to come to America to live a better life, to make America better, and you guys just cannot seem to get that. And it's not until it comes down to the point where where it hits you as emotionally and as devastating as it's been hitting them, that you will see, oh, I'm on the bad side of history right now, because Batman is basically the villain in that a villain in that movie until he figures it out. Like, oh shit.
What you're getting at, I think, is important. Like, I mean, not to get off topic, this is an example that I pull from a lot recently that I've talked about. Is like in the movie Seven Samurai. This is a great example of how what you're saying about people not realizing that they're on the bad side of history because they're not actually getting emotionally affected directly or affected directly. It's so easy to kind of see people as lesser than you when, I mean, I guess I don't really find it that easy, but a lot of people do find it that easy to just kind of see people as lesser because, you know, especially now when you spend so much time behind a screen and viewing others as entertainment, it's like you kind of become desensitized and to a degree dehumanized by that. And you know, all these people making jokes about alligator Alcatraz, it's like I don't think you see this as a real thing. Like, you don't see this as a real tangible thing. If you were there, if you were actually standing there and looking at what was happening,
it's not until like
in the flesh,
like someone you know actually gets put into that shit, and then you're like, oh,
or you
shit,
realize
this is not good.
Yeah. So the reason I bring up Seven Samurai is there's that great line in the movie. It's like, you know, by protecting others, you protect yourself. What I mean is that if we're not looking out for each other, if we're not caring about each other, there's nothing, because it might not be affecting you right now. You might be able to sit behind your phone and like laugh about it and be like, yeah, this is going on, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but that you're fine until you're not.
Yeah.
You're fine until you are not. Like, you can look at other people that are getting impacted by things, and you can brush it off because you still are going about your life. But if you're not protecting those people, if you're not caring for and looking out for those people and speaking up for those people, then you are just quickening the amount of time that it takes for that to come knocking at your door, for that to become your problem. And you don't want to wait until there's only you left, and now you're the one up, and there's no one else to protect you because you didn't care about anybody else initially, and now there's fewer of us to really fight what's going on.
Yeah. And that's the whole problem with these people that are like, oh, Superman's too woke, Superman's too this and that. It's like you're missing the point.
Well, I think they're proving the point of the movie because they're saying Superman's too woke. What they're saying really is, I don't want to see that. Superman's too woke. So you're saying he's punk rock, basically. You're saying kindness is punk rock. That's what the movie's getting at. You're saying that the movie is literally saying none of you want to be as corny and as sincere as Superman because you fucking lost your way. You're just Ben Affleck's Batman, bro. Like
exactly. But also what's great about that movie too is that he does find a way to make it better. He switches and he's like, okay, I'm gonna help him out because obviously
Martha won't die tonight. He's like, I need to save this Martha.
Yeah.
And I know people think that scene is stupid because it's like, oh, they stopped fighting because their moms have the same name. And I'm like, you're being extremely literal-minded with that approach to the scene because, yes, that does make Batman a little confused hearing a guy say Martha, right?
Yeah.
But not only is Superman saying the actual name of the person as a way of like, hey, this is a human being, you also have... It is additionally the fact that their moms have the same name, but it's more what you're saying. It's like, oh, okay, so if someone had thought to stop the guy that killed my mom, if someone had been there for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that, it would have made my life, like, infinitely less painful.
Yeah.
And so Superman saying, okay, well, please save Martha, though.
Yeah, and you get these flashbacks in the middle of the movie where you see this apocalyptic world in which Superman becomes a villain, and he's like, "You killed the one person that you killed her, like you let her go." He says
Lois Lane.
No, it was like that's what you're supposed to assume that it's Lois Lane.
Oh right, yeah.
But no, it's about his mom, and like that's what turns him evil, and he's the reason that happened. He doesn't know that yet, but like he kind of figures that out later on. It's like, oh, you're talking about your mom. You're not talking about like Lois Lane. Like
that's even further explored with the Lex Luthor character when he says the most important woman in your life, and then Superman's like, oh, she's on the ground, and then he goes, oh, but no, actually, it's your mom.
Exactly, and again with the whole Martha thing, it's like. It feels like a comic book. Like, it feels like that's what would be written in the little bubbles, and, like, that's how you would read out the comic. It's, again, the adaptation could have been better of it.
Yeah.
And that movie, obviously, is not flawless. I don't think it's, like...
Yeah. You have to accept some of that stuff, some of that comic booky adaptation kind of fluff in there.
Yeah.
I feel like, to a degree, you kind of have to meet it in the middle.
And that's why I do generally, like Batman v Superman. I think it's a good like superhero version with like a new take on the style of what the comic book medium has been at that point. And Zack Snyder takes some risk in that movie, and I'm like, that you would never see this kind of stuff in any other superhero movie.
I do love how soft like Batman gets with Martha when he saves her, and he says, you always expect Batman to be like, she's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Batman, And he goes, I'm a friend of your son's. I think that's beautiful.
She's like, yeah, I figured with the cape.
Yeah, that's a great joke. Yeah. Great joke.
But again, with what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah, we totally just got off topic.
We just got off topic. But Zack Snyder is a Batman director, and that's why he probably wasn't the best choice when doing Man of Steel. But James Gunn is such a Superman director that, of course, he would be a good Superman director.
Oh yeah,
and
very
that's
vibrant,
why
colorful. Yeah,
I think all directors are either one or the other. There are a few out there that I've kind of figured out that they could probably do either or.
Yeah,
but we kind of had this. We kind of like were talking about this before this, and we had a list of directors that we wanted to see. Are they a Superman director or are they a Batman director?
So I don't know if you have a list handy for you.
No,
I made
think,
a list.
Yeah, I think you could just read out the director, and then we could say whether or not we feel he's a Batman or a Superman director.
So I just literally, there was no rhyme or reason to this. I looked through like a bunch of movies on Letterboxd that I've watched, and I just listed directors in no order, and we're just gonna go and name, like speed run through this and just name who we think, and then we can discuss if we disagree. So the first one I named is Rian Johnson because you're wearing a shirt that says written and directed by Rian Johnson.
Easy, Superman.
I think so too. Yeah, I think there's no way that's a Batman director.
No.
My favorite director right now, M. Night Shyamalan, Superman director.
And so, like, the reason why I believe these guys are Superman directors is because the way they view the world, the way they have their movies tonally, and the characters, what they would say and do, versus...
it's more
like
their writing style for these guys, because these are directors that write all of their movies as well.
Yeah, that's also true. And they have a lot of, like, comedic dialogue, and you could just... It's easier to see them making a Superman movie than it is seeing them make, like, a dark, like, Batman movie. And even if they were to do a Batman movie, it would probably feel a bit tonally...
a bit more like the Adam West one.
Yeah.
M. Night made it Unbreakable, which is, in a way, a superhero story, and and it's more like Superman than anything else. Yeah. Wes Craven...
Batman.
I think Batman, but I think more Burton era Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
I was thinking about this, and I think Superman.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I agree. Akira Kurosawa. Superman. Well, I'm gonna do like 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Shane Black. 3, 2, 1. Batman.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he could make like a nice like Batman and Robin dynamic.
Yeah. I think that would be like really like. Honestly, yeah, Batman.
You could do
Robin type
almost
movie.
like a Batman, like a satirized Batman.
Because if you think of like Iron Man 3, Predators,
Iron Man 3,
like,
no brainer.
Like these, like the relationship between the older and then the younger kind of. So Batman and Robin would
I don't
make
actually
sense.
mean satirize. I said satirize. I just mean like a more comedic take on Batman.
Yeah.
Like a little like that relationship. I think would be really well done under Shane Black. Okay, so this is the one director that you told me that we think could do both, and I agree, and that's Sam Raimi.
Yes, because he did Darkman, very much like Batman, but he also did Spider-Man, very much like Superman.
And you could see him doing either.
You could see him doing both, because even in Spider-Man, there's elements in there that's kind of like Batman, where it gets really dark.
There's also, there's horror in it. Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Batman.
Ooh, I was going to say Superman.
You were going to say Superman? Why?
Yeah, because I just feel like he's very globe-trotty sometimes, and
That's
then
true.
he could utilize Superman as kind of like the wrong man type, where it's like in this movie.
Ooh, that's actually a great point.
Yeah.
I just think... I was thinking more of the...
He does. He can with obviously like a Psycho and stuff. He could get that a darker tone.
Yeah.
With like a Batman kind of movie.
Yeah.
But it feels almost too Batman's a very internal like.
I guess so. Yeah. It's not as outward. I can see both, but
I can kind of see both.
I think that you might be right that it's more so Superman. In like more of his films have a Superman vibe.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of his most popular films have a Batman vibe.
Yeah.
Rear Window is very investigative.
Yeah.
And that was something I thought of.
That's true, yeah.
There's a lot of crazy characters in his films, and so I think him doing like a Joker would be fun. So that's just where my
like,
thought.
Honestly, any
lied.
villain in like DC has like that crazy kind of.
But to be completely honest with you, I think if it was like the 50s and he made like a Cary Grant Superman, that would kind of go crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah, that would be insane.
Okay, this is an interesting one because I actually have no idea, so I'm not even going to do the thing because that's going to stress me out. Sean Baker.
Oh, I actually said this yesterday. I don't think you heard this, but I think Superman.
You think Superman?
Yeah. I think
he's interesting.
He's too tonally on the side of what Superman, like not morally, but tonally on the side of what Superman is, and I think that would be just really interesting. Kind of, I think if Sean Baker were to do a Superman movie, it would be more of a Clark Kent movie.
Yeah,
and his like Superman's kind of like on the back end, and that's something I feel like I wish we saw more of. And also why I did like Batman v Superman is because we see more Clark Kent like doing reportive journalistic stuff in that movie, and we don't always get to see him do that all the time.
I feel as though Sean Baker would definitely, if he were to make a comic book movie, it would be like a side character. Like, it would be
he
like
he would do a Jimmy Olsen movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He would do a Jimmy Olsen movie.
Okay. Joseph Kosinski.
Wait a second. Ooh, actually, I don't know. I think Batman.
Batman. I was going to say Superman.
Because I think he could... The thing is, with, like, Tron, it's very, like, a very dark kind of movie. Even, Oblivion, very dark. Well, not dark, but, like...
You mean, like, literally dark?
Well, there's literally dark and, like, tonally dark.
I don't think Tron's that dark. I guess it is a little bit... He could do, like, a Jason Todd thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, Rinsler in Tron is almost like Jason Todd.
True. But, I mean, I could see both. I could definitely see
Todd,
both
the one that,
because...
like, turns into the Joker.
Because Top Gun Maverick is very much a Superman-type movie, I feel like. I could see both. I just feel like he has such his style and his excess in like the visual style of his movies is very clean, and it feels like something Bruce Wayne would be a part of his kind of like tight, like crystal clear looking.
That's true.
Like,
he also could do a
looking.
Badass Batmobile scene for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see
more techie like.
I kind of just thought
happening.
Superman because his movies are very bright.
Yeah.
In that way, Julia Ducournau. I think that has to be Batman.
Yeah, there's
just a lot of. I feel like again that's a director that could do like I think like if she was doing like the Clayface body horror movie that's coming out, that would be super cool.
Ooh, she could do Catwoman.
Oh yeah, that would be really
be crazy.
I don't think that's even her wheelhouse at all.
It's not at all, but that would be crazy to see, like Catwoman just like messing people up and like like getting really like.
Steven Spielberg, Superman.
Easy,
no debate.
No debate.
Richard Linklater, Superman. Yeah. I think Superman as well. It just seems like.
That would be really interesting. I think that's also a case in which he would also either be like very much Clark Kent, or he would do like a side character like Jimmy Olsen, or I don't know, someone else.
Yeah, for sure. Stanley Kubrick.
Wait a second. Batman.
Yeah. Batman.
I had to think about it because he could be very like epic sometimes, which gives more of a Superman leaning, but I
feel like just the psychology,
the moral aspect of it all is very much more of a Batman thing.
Francis Ford Coppola.
I was thinking about this, and it took me a while. I think Superman.
Yeah.
Megalopolis really gives that Superman kind of vibe where it's like we need to do good for the people.
Yeah. Speaking of George Lucas, I think Superman. Yeah. Brian De Palma.
Oh, Batman for sure. That would be crazy.
That would be so awesome.
Like Phantom of the Paradise.
All right, I've got so many here, so we just need to do like lightning round, like because I have like 30 more. Martin Scorsese, Batman. Quentin Tarantino, Batman. I think.
Oh wait, actually. Ooh, Quentin Tarantino, maybe Superman actually, because like in Kill Bill Volume 2, he talks about Superman and how Superman is the real like Kal-El, and then Clark Kent is his actual like his like the mask that he wears.
That's true. I feel like Quentin Tarantino would have to do a grayer character than either the. My personal like dream Superman director, which I'm sad that I don't think this would never happen. But the next one is absolutely a Superman director, and I think he would make like an amazing Superman movie. Brad Bird. Oh yeah, I would love to see a Brad Bird Superman.
They should have just given him
Fantastic Four. That's what I was gonna say, because he literally made the Incredibles. He made the best version of the Fantastic Four that isn't the Fantastic Four.
But no, they just got some TV guy to do.
Yeah, fucking Marvel.
Like, I don't think Fantastic. Sorry, guys. I mean, I hope the best, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be great.
John Carpenter, Batman. I think
Batman. Yeah.
Coen Brothers.
Ooh.
I think Batman. I think it would be so fun to see them do a Batman. I feel like the dialogue between the like villains of Batman would be so cool. Like, could you imagine Coen Brothers directing like a Two-Face? That'd be a really fun Two-Face.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Wachowskis. I think Superman.
Yeah.
Because I think even The Matrix has a lot of those similar, like the flying and everything like that. Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay. Whoa. I think Superman.
Yeah, I think Superman. I mean, I could see it either way.
But I think he's Paul Thomas Anderson is very. I think with a lot of movies, you could kind of see him as being a little cynical with like The Master or There Will Be Blood, but I think in most cases he's a very sincere and optimistic and very positive, outgoing type of guy with his movies. Even with all of his movies are very different, and they explore a lot of different things and themes and characters, but they usually have a lightness to them sometimes. Like even with Boogie Nights and
Licorice
like
Pizza even has like a bit of a
Licorice Pizza. The comedy would work really well with Superman. I just feel like I feel like he would do a nice little Superman, and I think he would explore a lot of the characters other than just Superman. A lot of the other characters as well, like the team at the Daily Planet would he'd work a lot.
That would be killer for sure. Now some of these directors are just not going to ever do this. This is just hypothetically, if we had to pick them to do one.
99.9% of these directors are not going to make a superhero movie. But
Guillermo del Toro, I think, obviously Batman. Alfonso Cuarón.
Ooh, Superman. I think it would be Super. I think he's too Superman. Optimistic in a certain sense because.
Yeah, I guess I would agree. Gore Verbinski is one that I feel like could do either.
Honestly, I could see both.
But maybe more Superman.
He's
Superman. More large scale.
Yeah.
David Fincher, Batman. Easily. Chad Stahelski. Now, I think that's Batman.
Batman for sure.
Because
that
would be
hand-to-hand
hand and all the gadgets would go insane under Chad Stahelski.
Batman be John Wick.
Ryan Coogler, I think, is also maybe Batman.
Yeah.
But Batman would be played by Michael B. Jordan.
Ryan Coogler, I could see both.
I could see both.
There's this kind of... There's this like optimism about like Creed and
there is
Black Panther.
A huge triumph and sincerity to his films
that could really lean towards Superman, but he does have that darker edge.
I think Black Panther just has more gadgetry and stuff, and that's why. But either way, if he did either character, they'd be played by Michael B. Jordan. It would be pretty cool. But I would see, if that's the case, I think Michael B. Jordan would make a better Superman than Batman.
Yes.
Robert Eggers' Batman.
That would
go
insane.
So hard.
He's like Batman, but it's like in like olden times.
Now here's a director that I think could do both, and that you haven't seen his latest movie, so I think maybe that might change your that changed my perspective a little bit. Mike Flanagan. I think he could do both because I think he has a lot of horror and dark sensibilities.
Yeah.
But he is Mike Flanagan as a person is a lot more like Superman minded. Like he loves life and he has
he's
optimism.
He's like Wes Craven in that case, because Wes Craven was very much like this very nice, very well put together, positive guy, but he would always make these horror movies, and there was always this ongoing joke where people would meet him, like, be kind of scared at first and be like, oh my god, Wes Craven, the horror director, but then they meet him and he's like just the nicest, sweetest guy you ever meet.
Mike Flanagan is so sweet. I think he would probably make a great Superman movie, but I think he could also make a Batman movie.
I'd lean more.
But he is going to write the Clayface movie, so there is that. Paul King, Paddington guy, Superman. Yeah, no problem. Luca Guadagnino.
I think Batman.
I think Batman too, because Batman is edgier and often there's even often some sexual stuff going on between a lot of the Batman characters. And I think Luca Guadagnino, he'd make a great like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy movie.
Ooh,
like, you know. This is an interesting one. Alexander Payne, Superman. Yeah. I feel like there would just be, it's just like someone fighting for a Daily Planet promotion. It's like election.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Damien Chazelle, Superman.
Ooh, Damien Chazelle.
I feel like I interrupted you when you were talking about Alexander Payne.
No, I was just the whole like thing about him, like who's going for a promotion at Daily Planet, and it's like one guy's just like, how does Clark Kent keep getting those damn pictures and interviews with Superman?
Yeah, they start like investigating him.
But no, Damien Chazelle. Oh, that's so interesting because I feel like for me, I think he would lean more Batman.
Really?
Yeah, because you got First Man about Armstrong.
Yeah.
Very stoic, very interpersonal, very with Whiplash, darker, kind of more.
I guess I didn't
obsessive.
think of that.
La La Land is the only like Superman leaning type of film, but it even ends very like
well, my
bittersweet.
My thing was really just thinking about how fast-paced and energetic his filmmaking is, and how I feel like he could pull off like a really cool Superman movie in that way.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think in terms of like the content of his movies, maybe it leans more Batman.
Maybe he's not like either Batman or Superman. He's maybe like a different like Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are pretty much. David Lowery. I feel like Batman. I feel like there's a melancholic, sad quality to David Lowery.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see Superman, but I think Batman's more leaning for him.
Steve McQueen, I think, would be Batman. Because he's very raw and gritty.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I've got a few Korean directors here.
Okay.
Lee Chang-dong, the director of Burning and Secret Sunshine, I feel like would be Batman. He captures tragedy in like a very brutal way. Bong Joon-ho, Superman. I think if anything, I don't think he would make a movie about Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I think he would make a movie about Superman.
Yeah.
And then
you're actually super right about
the
that.
Villain would be a billionaire, of course. Park Chan-wook, on the other hand, I think is more Batman.
Yeah.
Vengeance. He made a Vengeance trilogy.
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh. Superman too, I think. Yeah. He just super versatile filmmaker. He could pretty much make anything, but I think he is a little bit more upbeat in most of his most popular stuff. Another person I think would do Superman, Wes Anderson.
Yes.
The colors would just pop. Like, he would make a very retro kind of Superman movie. I feel
like when I was thinking about Wes Anderson doing a Superman movie, for some reason I thought of that one episode from SpongeBob where they get superpowers. And he's like, you want to see me touch that rock? You want to see me do it again?
He would do something like
that with Superman.
For sure. He honestly can make like a ensemble Justice League film that's just like that.
Oh yeah, just like everybody just with their powers just fucking around.
Yeah, just like fucking. It's just like Bill Murray would be Superman or something. Like, you got Willem Dafoe as like shit. I don't know.
He'd be Joker.
Yeah, you're right. And then like Jeffrey Wright would be in there somewhere as well. I feel like Jeffrey Wright would be like Green Lantern or something.
Yeah, he would just like everybody would just be a specific superhero that just they don't really focus on their powers. It's just,
Michael
like,
Cera's
dynamics.
Robin.
Michael Cera, yeah.
Anyway, okay, I have 7 more.
Oh, gee.
Edgar Wright, I think Superman. David Lynch, I think maybe Batman. But
Yeah,
I feel like it would be a Batman movie where Joker is like torturing him, and he like psychologically torturing him, and he has no idea what the fuck is going on, or like he would make like a Riddler movie or something.
Yeah, I guess with all like, because he could get really scary sometimes, and I think the thing is like, I don't know, with Twin Peaks feels almost more like his Superman.
Yeah.
It's very, I don't know. I think David Lynch is kind of like those rare
I think you just have to ask
moments where it's like, it's neither.
Yeah, it is kind of neither. When I wrote that down, I thought, yeah, that I can't see either.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at films like almost like Blue Velvet,
Yeah.
it has a very Superman picturesque quality to it, but
it's
there
more
is a
like
dark,
Batman, yeah.
there's an investigative dark underbelly to it that is more Batman coded. And I think David Lynch, I forgot what I was going to say, but I had something, I promise. Yeah, when I wrote him down, I kind of thought it was neither.
It's that I don't. Yeah, I
you kind of have to ask yourself which one Dune is more similar to. That's what I was going to say, because that's like his most
like studio
mainstream.
type,
Yeah. Kyle MacLachlan's Superman, I would take that though.
Yes, I think that's the case. If he does do Superman, Kyle MacLachlan would have to be Superman.
Yeah. Richard Kelly. The thing is, I've only seen Donnie Darko. So my instinct is Batman, but like
I think he is like Batman.
John Woo would I think also be Batman, but it would be a very
Really?
Yeah, because I think he does so much with like gadgets and guns, and I know Batman doesn't use guns, but a lot of characters in Batman stories use guns, like a lot of like robbers and street level stuff, and like I just think I don't know, I just think he works better at characters that don't have superpowers but that are extremely skilled.
Yeah,
and
you're right. Yeah,
like I think he would
yeah.
make a very campy Batman that jumps around and throws batarangs and does crazy shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Jan de Bont, I wrote down.
Superman.
I guess Superman, because he just things go like really, really fast,
very
and
explosion-y, excessive type movies.
Yeah. Jonathan Demme. I'm leaning Batman on that.
I got Superman.
Really?
No, he's a Superman director for sure.
Really?
Yeah, he's way more like. Yes, there's Silence of the Lambs, his most popular movie, which kind of leans towards Batman, but damn near all of his other movies are more Superman coded.
I haven't seen enough of them. So, yeah.
Like he's way more of a Superman movie kind of guy.
And then lastly, I also think this is Superman, Robert Zemeckis. Yeah. It's kind of like Spielberg in that way, where it's like it's just not debatable. Okay, that was really excessive. There's a lot of directors, but I tried to capture like a lot of different filmmakers, like big and small and everything. So
the kind of last part that we just wanted to talk about.
It's all fun and games till we get Michael Haneke's Batman.
That's crazy. Funny games with Batman.
Harmony Korine Superman.
No,
he's not Superman director. I was just saying.
No. Harmony Korine would make a Joker movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last thing we just wanted to talk about is the future of DC and what they're gonna do. It all looks really interesting. The fact that they're doing Clayface coming up real soon seems so random, but also
that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's like
I used to play the Lego Batman games, and Clayface was in them, and I've never read Clayface comics, but I was just like, that guy, what the fuck is that guy's deal?
Yeah,
Clayface.
Yeah,
so I'm just so excited to see that.
I think it's going to be really interesting because again, this chapter of DC is called Gods and Monsters, and this is the monster part.
Yeah. And I think James Gunn said he wants every movie to feel different, and this is supposedly a body horror movie written by Mike Flanagan, directed by James Watkins, who made Speak No Evil recently, the American one. So, like, really exciting stuff.
Yeah. Then there's Supergirl.
Yeah, and that's directed by Craig Gillespie.
Yeah, who did, like, I, Tonya.
He also did Lars and the Real Girl, right?
Yeah.
And also Dumb Money, the GameStop movie.
Didn't he also do Cruella?
Cruella, I think. I'm not
100% sure.
I'm going to actually research that real quick.
I could be wrong.
I feel like that's not right.
Yeah, I could be wrong with that one. But I mean,
oh, no, you're right. He did do it.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Cool. But yeah, Supergirl, I think he would do a pretty good job with that one.
I think maybe that's the movie that really made them want him to make it. Then there's a Sergeant Rock movie.
I don't know anything about
character I know jack shit about, but it was apparently supposed to be Luca Guadagnino, and I guess he's not attached anymore. And I think it was supposed to star Colin Farrell at a certain point, and then I heard whispers of Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that,
yeah.
But maybe it'll be good. Batman the Brave and the Bold, directed by Andy Muschietti, who did The Flash. He did It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
Yeah.
I'm not really a huge fan of Andy Muschietti, but
I think he's fine. I'm just curious as to, like, who's going to be Batman and Robin in this. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, but The Flash, like,
I don't hate The Flash.
Love The Flash, but I don't hate The Flash.
Yeah, I think Flash was it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate movie based on, like, all these, like, variables with it, like having Ezra Miller as The Flash is, like,
and
unfortunate.
two of them.
Two of them. And the CGI, it's like it doesn't look great, like, on a lot of the CGI kind of stuff. But the ideas and what they were going for, I did really like.
They are very cool ideas, and I think you mentioned to me recently, it's almost like a fusion of the Burton and the Snyder movies.
Yeah, like that's what even James Gunn was saying. Like that movie was like the reboot of the franchise. It kind of like cut it off there, but also meant that you could still kind of bring back some characters from that whole Zack Snyder verse and bring them over here if they wanted to. And it's just kind of a weird little movie that's kind of picked apart from each universe and kind of put together in a weird mess of a movie. But there's a lot of enjoyable parts. I kind of feel bad that we don't see that version of Supergirl again, because she was really good. I like that.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
And just seeing Michael Keaton come back.
Yeah, it was
as
cool
Batman.
to see him.
It's just kind of unfortunate with a lot of the elements in that movie.
Then there's apparently supposed to be a Swamp Thing movie directed by James Mangold.
Like, what?
Which is exciting. I like James Mangold.
I like James Mangold too, but like,
I'll see him direct anything. I don't care.
Swamp Thing is kind of wild. I think he would. I think they would have went like with a horror movie director, like when Wes Craven did Swamp Thing movie. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's also there's going to be a live action Teen Titan movie.
I didn't know about that until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to use the same. I would assume they would use the same Robin from Brave and the Bold in that one, but
maybe.
I don't know.
That
again,
seems like it would be the logical choice. And then lastly, Wonder Woman, a new Wonder Woman. I saw someone say it should be Adria Arjona, and I just have to agree with that.
I support that 300%.
Who the fuck is Bruce Wayne?
She's so great. I love her so. I want her to be Wonder Woman so much. Like, we don't have to bring back Gal Gadot. Like,
Adria Arjona is amazing. She's
so good.
Such a good actor. She's
so fucking.
She's beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
Like, I think she would fit the character like really well. And when that thing I said a second ago, I wasn't making fun of her. That's just a line she says in Hitman. It's really funny. Like, who the fuck is Gary? Amazing line delivery. That's like it's like one of my favorite things. That just pops into my head all the time. But that's it.
It's an exciting new step into what DC is trying to do. Superman, I think, is a good sign of the direction they're going into. Obviously, a bit polarizing today because of all the haters, I guess you could say. But
It shouldn't be.
Like it's doing fine at the box office right now. All the critics love it, obviously, because it's a good movie. If you don't think, obviously, you don't have to love the movie, but if you're just like, no, it's a bad movie because it's woke, you're just a evil person. So
the movie's not for you, pal.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think this is gonna be a fun little ride that James Gunn's gonna take us on with this whole new.
Yeah, I mean,
universe.
what's great about this is, like, if you don't like his Superman movie, if you didn't think it was good, if you don't like his style of filmmaking, that's cool, because these other movies that we mentioned,
they're gonna be different.
According to him, they're all gonna be different. They're all gonna feel different, and he, as a filmmaker himself, I believe he is doing what he should, which is let the filmmakers make the movies, let them make it in their own style, let them kind of have somewhat of a control over, what they're doing. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be very assembly line and very formulaic. And I just hope that these movies are like driven by filmmakers and artists, and that is super exciting to me to see that happen on a large scale.
Yeah. No, so, yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with these movies.
Yeah.
Last little questions for you guys is what's your favorite Superman director? In your opinion, I guess.
Yeah, what is a director that you love that you think would be a Superman director, and then one that you think would be a Batman director that haven't directed those two like characters at all?
Yeah. For instance, obviously, what would Steven Spielberg do with a Superman movie? What would that look like?
I don't ever want to see an M. Night Shyamalan Superman movie. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he would agree with me. He's not built for like a big blockbuster populist thing. He would make something very small. Like if he directed like a romance drama between Superman and Lois Lane based on something Superman did that's very peripheral. Yeah. Like sort of basically just the interview scene in this movie, but a whole movie. I think he would make a great movie. But in terms of actually a Superman movie with big action and stuff, no. I'm sorry. He wouldn't do it that well.
As for Batman, I don't know. I think it would be crazy to see like I don't know, an Ari Aster Batman movie.
Bro, that would be insane. Yeah, an Ari Aster Batman. I also think a Robert Eggers Batman would be cool. Wow. David Fincher Batman would be so fucking awesome. That'd be like too perfect.
Yeah.
But that's not saying like, oh, I want all these directors to make superhero movies. No, it's just like, we're just having fun. Yeah. And yeah, what's your favorite Superman movie that exists? What's your favorite Superman actor and your favorite DC character? And that's what we want to know from you guys. Give us suggestions. Follow us on other platforms. Links in the description. No matter where you're watching this, we upload episodes every Monday. Rate the podcast, review it, check us out. Send us an email through the email address in the description. If you want us to talk about something specific, we will consider that. I've been Peyton.
And I've been Adrian.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
Superman's a great movie. Go watch it. 4.5 apples in the box. High five.
I would say I would probably 4. Yeah, 4 apples in the box. Maybe it'll change after watching it again. I think we're going to watch it in 40X.
We are tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow, so we'll see. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll get better.
All right. I've been Peyton.
And I've been Adrian.
And we'll see you next time on the Apple Box.